Hey everybody and the Whimsical Rebel, welcome to, wow, it's so echoey in here. And if you can hear the cicadas, I grew up in the South, why can't I say that word? Cicadas? Yep, they're going crazy out there. So welcome to this Friday's. If it's twice a week, do I say welcome to this week's or this Friday's? Welcome to our live Q&A sessions where I give complimentary #Whimsdom. Hey Melissa girl, anyone that pops on, say hello below, let me know you're here. And of course, we do these every Monday and Friday, these live Q&As for, like I said, complimentary #Whimsdom and guidance. So any questions about any area of your life or even questions about what I do for my clients and how I help them unleash unlimited potential and authenticity and balance in their life, pop them in the comments below if you catch this live. And if not, if you think of a question that you would like to have covered in one of these sessions, pop them in a message to me. I'll get to it on the next live Q&A. Oh, hey boo, hey boo. So I poured myself a lovely glass of wine in my Fur Mommy cup. You can't see it, there we go, Fur Mama. Oh, thanks Kelly. So I get to get real chill with you guys because we got something to talk about. We're gonna drop some tea, okay? Because we've all been here. And I got asked an amazing question by an amazing woman. And we've all been there, if you read the title. What do I do about a toxic coworker? Because we've all been there, okay? I don't care what field you work in, but I've pretty much worked in a variety of them all. I mean, I've worked in sex toy sales. I have obviously worked in life coaching. I've worked in fitness. I've worked in online marketing. I've worked in a hospital. I have worked in the food industry, front of the house and back of the house. I've worked in a retirement home. I've worked in retail. I mean, you name it, you know? So I've seen all kinds of different relationships between coworkers. And as someone who I was homeschooled most of my life on a farm. I tended to animals and I did 4-H and I loved my friends, and I didn't get to see this kind of you go in blind with coworkers. I didn't get to see this kind of blind navigation until I started working as an adult in all those different jobs. And it just blew my mind. Like, there's all kinds of weird stuff, right? There's the clickiness, there's the cold shoulder, there's the competitive side, like all kinds of weird shit. But here's breaking it down really simple. We have to feel our way through life. Feel our way through life, right? And we have to, but we don't have to feel our way through family, friends, relationships the same way that we do with coworkers. Feeling our way through a coworker situation, through a work situation, is blind. Like, you're even wearing like lots of gloves, like you can't really feel anything. You're going in blind because it's the only situation where it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to like each other. You will still go home at the end of the day with a job. And granted, obviously there are some jobs where, like, yes, it would very much help. Most jobs would very much help if everyone got along, right? But it's not the same as with family or friends or relationships. There's that level of, like, even if people are assholes in any of those other three, there's that level of, like, people wanting it to work to make it easier. Even roommates, right? Even though I've seen roommate situations where it's just like ghost ships in the night, like going to talk to each other, they have nothing to do with each other, but there's a level of respect that makes that work. We would all love it in the workplace if we could be ships in the night. People just did their fucking job, shut the fuck up, didn't make everyone's life hard. But there's just some people that bring whatever is going on in their life to the table. And that's no different. That is no different from you, the people pleaser. If you're worrying, and not worrying, but if you're allowing yourself to be affected by whether or not someone likes you, and even if you're like, I don't need them to like me, I just need them to not actively be a bitch to me. Like, I totally get it. But on a basement level, it's because your people pleaser is trying to find this hiding space between not being liked and the discomfort of that, and the discomfort of not being able to make someone happy. because people pleasers do this. If we can make you happy, we don't care if you like us, as long as we can do something that makes us feel better about you not liking us. It's just, I don't know, it's just a thing we do. It's part of our whole system, our whole cobweb of makeup. It's just something that we do. So it's no different for you. You're bringing your own shit to the table, just like they might be bringing a bad attitude and like an unwillingness to communicate. You're bringing your needs to the table. Nobody's guilty in this. We're all just humans. But I am going to tell you, and I wrote it down absolutely perfectly. You know, I like my notes just so I don't ramble, because this is my first class, but I can't promise anything by the end of the video. So it's really, if this is the only situation that we're going in totally blind, then that means that really the answers can be found in a different question altogether. Because it means that the question really isn't, what do I do about a toxic coworker? And no, I'm not going to be like, the question is, what do you do about yourself? Like, blah. But like, the question is completely different. If we tackle it, because y'all know I like to flip it upside down. We tackle it from that underside, that underbelly of what's really going on. The real question is, how do I navigate a blind situation in life? Because that's at the core of it. As a people pleaser, you are fucking terrified of the uncontrollable. It kills you. I even have a module in my master program called the C word. Understanding your fear of the uncontrollable. Okay, you hear me? So it's at the bottom of it, it's our fear of the uncontrollable. And so the real question is not what can we do to navigate a toxic situation at work. It's how do I navigate a blind situation in life? When I'm not getting anything back from this person and I'm not getting any feedback on how to exist around this person, like I just don't want to ruffle any feathers. I just need them to not be like actively attacking me and like making going to work bleh. So the answer, this is gonna be really annoying, but I will go into detail with the answer. But surface level, the answer is love and light. But this does not mean what you think it means. I don't mean love and light like approach them with a hug, turn the other cheek, always kill them with kindness. That is not what I am saying. What I mean by love and light, like I don't mean like pour energy and good deeds into someone who's not giving it back to you. Because that's what we do, and we're like, I'm so nice to her. Like, I try to turn the other cheek, and I know that she probably just has shit going on in her life, and I'm trying just to be understanding, but Jesus, she hates me, and she makes it really evident, and I don't know what to do. You know, don't pour energy into that person. There's a different way to do this. I mean, standing so securely in your love and light and authenticity that you can access a vision different than sight. That's how you're going to navigate blind situations in life. You need to be standing in so much integrity and in your alignment. And when we're in alignment, that's when we're fueled with love and light. Because remember, we talked about it before, when we're out of alignment, that's when fears and jealousy and ickiness and stress creep in. So when we're standing in alignment, existing in love and light, our intentions are completely different. So there is actually that different level of vision. It's a different type of sight. And that vision is energy. And I don't mean like learn to see the coworker's shitty aura. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like you're not ever obligated to be friends with everyone. And that's not what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean that you have to bear the weight of rejection, like day in and day out, because that's what it really is. I know it's cute and people throw it around all the time, you know, turn the other cheek, kill them with kindness, but it's the same concept. And if you guys have watched these videos from the beginning or my Whimsical Wednesdays, you know that it's the same concept as clapping back. Clapping back ain't cute, and it gives you a little boost of confidence for a second, but because you tapped into negative energy, to clap back, you're standing on a rickety as shit step stool. Like you're no higher than anyone, you just threw some shade and nobody feels any better. So when you're existing, when you're killing them with kindness and you're just like, whatever, it's fine, I don't care if they like me, that's great, and you shouldn't care. But when we're existing, it's kind of like we're churning that same negative energy. It's like, it's not my problem she don't like me. It's creating that same negative energy. You're still holding yourself down. You're still being weighed down with the thought of that daily rejection. That's why it doesn't get any easier to go to work day in and day out. Even though you're like, I don't care if she likes me, you're still like tireder and tireder every day. Or that shit she says mumbling under her breath, or whatever's going on. It's like you're pretending to not be fazed, because logically, you shouldn't be fazed, right? But logic never plays into it, you guys. When it's energy, logic never plays into it. So, it's really easy to say, like super easy to say, like, be one with yourself enough to see their energy clearly. That doesn't help, right? That doesn't help at all. So here are the real deal. Here's the real deal steps. And here's like the legit tips equation for this true sight of energy, for this truly coming from a place of light and love. Because again, we can't just say, make sure your intentions are coming from a place of light and love. It's like, she ate my yogurt on purpose, or like whatever it is. It's like really hard to do that. So existing in love and light and authenticity equals pure intention, which equals absolute communication. Whether it's received in kind from the other party doesn't matter, because that is not something you can control. You cannot control how someone hears the words coming out of your mouth. It's not a problem. But only in absolute communication, so the rest of that equation, only in absolute communication can we find ultimate understanding. Okay? So I'm just going to repeat that. Existing in love, light, and authenticity, alignment, basically, equals pure intention, which equals absolute communication, which then equals ultimate understanding. And the reason this is so important, and sidebar, by the way, if you have trouble distinguishing existing in love and light from turning the other cheek and killing them with kindness, like if you're like, it still sounds like the same thing to me, then that just means that you are pretty far away from any sort of alignment. Totally fine, you're not broken, and I can absolutely help you get there. You just need to schedule your Lady Balls roadmap session, your phone call. We'll dive in for 90 minutes. We will figure you all out. But I promise you, you will feel the difference, because they are night and day. Night and day. One is toxic, that's using your own negative energy. It's gonna sabotage you in the end. And the other one is coming from pure authenticity and alignment. So, and that's how people find real balance. That's how those people that you're jealous of, that are like, no, she really doesn't care if this person likes her, but she's still so happy. She gets it. She knows the difference. She's in alignment. So if you need that, let's talk. We can get you there. But still, keep listening, because this will still help you. So only in absolute communication can we find that ultimate understanding. And the reason that that's so important is because people, I don't care what kind of person, all people just want to be understood. That's it. They want to be understood and like accepted. It doesn't mean they want to be inducted. Like maybe they don't give a shit about being your friend. But in life, they just want to be understood. Sometimes it's like, I just want to be understood as a Krabby Patty who doesn't like having extra friends and ain't got time for it. Cool, But people just want to be understood and accepted. And there's so much shit that gets caked on top of it, on top of that just basic need, that everything gets construed. And we end up in these weird silent battles with people when we're trying to find our way blindly through a situation in life. So I have the beautiful woman that asked this question. Sorry, I got totally derailed in my own thought. The beautiful woman that asked me this question today, she actually updated me. She asked me this question several days ago, and I said, we'll feature it Friday. And she actually followed her gut, and she's amazing, and I'm so proud of her. But she actually enacted this and proved exactly what I'm saying to you. So basically, before, she didn't know it, or maybe she doesn't know it and she will now that I'm saying this, but before she was coming from a place of need. Like she was bringing her own shit to the table. You know, I need to be able to just come to work and not have to fucking deal with people being so aggro. Like, I need this. And it's that people pleasing, trying to hide, trying to find that hiding space between that discomfort of being liked and making someone happy. So she was coming, that's what was fueling her, because she wasn't kind of in alignment. She wasn't finding that authentic love and light vibe to actually navigate the situation. She was just going at it blind, just like, this needs to be fixed and this is why. And it just was just rocky and it wasn't helping anything. And she was just going to work day in and day out, like feeling the heavy weight of rejection. But when she actually stepped into love and light and her own authenticity, she was able to come from that pure intention place. And the pure intention place was, I wonder what's going on in her life. Like, this can't just be as simple as like, she doesn't like me. Like, maybe I'll just have like a regular conversation with her. And she totally had a conversation about love languages, and which was the video we talked about the other day. And they talked about their love languages, and she got to know her a little better. And that simple step of the other person feeling understood and accepted, even if not inducted into any sort of friendship, but just understood and accepted, it already started chipping away. She updated me today with this. She was like, oh my God, you know, we talked about love languages and everything's already like sitting better. Now that we kind of know each other's personalities a little bit, like we're actually like kind of jiving really well. That's exactly what I mean. It didn't take some ridiculous long breakthrough conversation of like, let's sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting. I need to know what the fuck your problem is. Like, it didn't take all of that. It just took her coming from a truly authentic place of love and light so that she could have that true intention, so she could enact that absolute communication, so that she could actually get to a place to emit ultimate understanding in both of them. Because let's not forget, as wonderful and as like awesome as this played out, it is never, ever, 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 ever your responsibility to make other people happy. It is never your responsibility to be liked. It is your responsibility to maintain an authentic alignment with yourself. Because that's what's gonna make the journey easier on you. This whole thing with her wasn't about making the other person's life better. Although guess what? It happened anyway. But she actually put herself and her own intentions first, rather than just her fear-based needs. And because she did that, it actually ended up helping the other person. Because you know, feeling understood and accepted, the other person isn't going to emit or evoke the same negative energy now, because she's kind of like letting that wall down. Like, oh, okay, I guess this chick's pretty cool. I can talk to her, whatever. So it's never, like, this video is not about going out of your way to fix anyone or to break down any walls. It's only about getting to a place where you understand your true intention and what intentions you're bringing to the table. Because the weight that you're feeling of rejection from a toxic coworker, even if it's a coworker that's just like in your mind, just the worst, and you would never want to be accepted by them because they're horrible. It doesn't matter. Underneath it all, you're still so affected because of the feeling of rejection. That's it. And it's weird to think that. It's like, I don't want to be liked by someone that's terrible. That's not what your mind and your fears say. That's what your logical brain says, but our logical brains don't play a part into anything. So this is all just about being able to find that clarity and know your true intentions, because that's what's going to get you where you need to be comfortably. Okay? And again, whether or not it affects the other person in the way that you're hoping, doesn't matter. It's not your problem. You cannot control it. So again, thank you guys for these questions. This was a beautiful question. I loved it because it really helps kind of take away the illusions of a lot of social interactions that we deal with day to day as people pleasers, which is what this group is all about, is all of us like emotional growth warriors that are just like so enthralled with learning how to enact better, like more healthy ways of social interaction. Like we shouldn't have to just put up with everyone's bullshit anymore. We shouldn't have to allow our fear to run rampant and make these blind situations in life that much more difficult. So I really, really appreciate you. If you have a question of your own, send it to me in a message. And if you caught this live recording, then pop a question in the comments, and they will always be getted. They will be getted to on the next live Q&A. Again, we do this every Monday and Friday. And yeah, if you need help, if this still is like, that sounds nice, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. That can't happen for me. I'm just the kind of person that, if you're having any of these thoughts, or if maybe you're like, yeah, thinking of some particular person at work and you're like, yeah, that wouldn't work with her, or that, you know, what must be nice is and wouldn't it be nice is, guys, you're not alone. I just had this conversation this morning with a client. You're not alone when you think, yeah, that sounds great. Must be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if? Those are not thoughts that are just yours. Every people pleaser has them, because down to the nitty gritty, our problems are wrapped around self-worth. So you're not alone, you're not weird, and you're not a lost cause, and it will be nice. All you have to do is give yourself the chance to get there, okay? And I can help you do that. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing Friday.